Welcome to Conspiracy Corner Podcast. Everyone, this is Abe, your host. I just finished eating, so I got the hiccups as usual. Man, it's super blurry and weird. Wee-oo. So, today is April 22nd, 2025. Have a lot to talk about today. But, tomorrow, I'm not sure if I'm going to be podcasting or not. I've been asking you all to pray for me, cast a spell for me, do some chi, something. Talk to your creator and how you understand them, as we would say, as a friend of Bill. Whatever you believe in, man, I need some good mojo, because tomorrow, I'm not sure if I'm going to be podcasting. I'm going to be getting up early and window shopping for lawyers. Like I said, I can't talk about it right now. Once this all clears up, I promise you, I will talk to you about it. I'll do an episode on it. It might be like several parts, because it's fucking crazy. It's a soap opera. But tomorrow I got a window shop for lawyers, and honestly, I'm just gonna do a couple free consultations, and even see if I should fight what I'm fighting right now, because honestly, it is not the way that I wanted it to go of what I'm dealing with legally, but it's one of those things of like, it could be worse. My outcome could be worse. And if you guys know anything about the legal system, sometimes if you fight it, they will actually punish you. That's why I don't trust, honestly, like everyone says, like, oh, so-and-so was found guilty in the court of law. First of all, court of law is so corrupt and evil. And if you're a conspiracy theorist, you fucking know, dude. You already know. They're all fucking evil. They're all a part of secret societies. It's a big club and you ain't in it, as George Carlin would say. Yeah, dude. And, they pick on the little guy and let these big guys go, like Epstein, and, they let all these Hollywood elites and these elites, E-L, these elites run free while the little guy gets picked on, It's cool, though. So I'm going to figure out what I'm doing. And honestly, dude, as weird as it sounds, like if they keep fucking with me, this system keeps fucking with me, you are going to see me go full-blown William Cooper, guns a-blazing, on this channel. Of like, they keep poking a bear right now. I sat there and admitted to crimes I didn't fucking do, just so they would leave me alone, and they didn't leave me alone. And this is kind of their second chance. Like, leave me alone. Otherwise, I'm going to start going guns a-blazing on everyone. The other day I went off on CPS. Yesterday I went off on the child trafficking of the Vatican. I'm just going to start fucking going off on how you all are pedophile motherfuckers, Leave me the fuck alone. When I'm happier and I'm left alone, I report on stupid shit, stupid conspiracies of like, aliens and just fun shit. But that's because I'm in a good state of mind and can have fun. But when you poke a bear, the bear's gonna come out of hibernation, dude. Just saying that. So guys, pray for me with that, man. With whatever you believe in. My podcast have been all over the place because I keep having plans to do certain shit, but it keeps getting affected. So I'm going to do a little bit of responding to comments. I'm not going to keep it long because I've actually covered a lot of this in other episodes, and I will shout out those other episodes. So it'll let you guys, if you guys are new listeners, which, by the way, thank you for multiple new subs. Stay tuned. You are welcome here. The only thing that I have to say is be nice to each other. Everyone is welcome here. Every religion. I'm not Christian. I'm an occultist, so I welcome everyone. You know the cliche coexist? That's me. And I am a classic liberal, which would today be moderate, if not Republican, which is insane to me. It shows how much politically the scale has shifted. And also, I'm a little weird in the bedroom. So every sexuality is welcome here except for if you're messing with animals or children. Obviously, that is off the fucking limits, man. Like, I don't fuck around with that shit. So pretty much everyone's welcome here as long as you're a cool dude, and you can be weird because I'm a weirdo. We're the island of misfits toys over here at Conspiracy Corner Podcast. So I want to get into a responding to comments because honestly, these are heavy hitters as far as people love this shit. Responding to comments videos, which, by the way, I did an interview with Miss McGillicuddy and somebody blew the fucking comments up, and I'm going to do probably an entire episode on that because, I mean, they sent like 6 or 7, 8 or 9 fucking comments, and I'm like, dude, I can make a whole episode just on this dude responding to comments. And the thing is, YouTube fucking sucks as a platform. We all know that. So I didn't even know this guy was commenting until I went on my laptop instead of my phone to YouTube Studio and found literally like 10 or 12 fucking comments from this dude. So I'm probably going to do a whole episode on it, a responding to comments episode, and just honestly just clear the air with that fellow. I don't know, he's got like a lion profile picture. I think I don't know what he is, man. I'll figure it out because he was going deep on some shit, and I'm like, I'm just going to respond in a video because it's easier than typing up a whole fucking page worth of letters, and it'll be content. So I'm going to start the video off with a little bit of responding to comments, and it's update related, so I don't mind doing it. So like I said, I'll try to keep it a little short, that way it doesn't take up the full episode. So this comment, and I'm gonna not read it from actual, you can go look at it. It was on my Construction Zone video game review video, which was weird that he commented some conspiracy shit on a Blue Pill podcast episode. That was interesting. I know my channel is called Conspiracy Corner Podcast because that's my main podcast, but yeah, he's like, hey, I got a conspiracy for you. So his name is Timothy Lutter. And by the way, don't go harassing this dude. And honestly, I was nice in the comment, and I will be nice now, but you're giving me content, buddy. This is why I tell you guys, comment in the comment section, because I will respond either personally or through a video, which the only reason I'm doing this for a video, in a video, is because I've actually mentioned this before in my podcast. I've actually done like 2 separate episodes of what we're going to get into. So this guy, Timothy Lutter, and it's weird, he's got 2 fucking profile names, which is interesting. Critical Bible Thinker. I thought he was an actual content creator. He's only got like 26 subscribers and 2 playlists, because I always try to give shout outs to people, you know. But he said, hey, I got a conspiracy for you. Jesus quoted in the Bible all these prophecies that are all coming true right now. And it would be awesome if you could spend time with me in heaven. It would be so cool. if you could be there too. So first of all, I've made 2 different episodes. There was one episode of the Euphrates is drying up. Go check that episode out. I explained this all to you guys. So, let me sum this up. Everyone goes around going, oh, it's the Freemasons. Oh, it's the Illuminati. Oh, it's the reptilians. Oh, it's the Jesuits. This is my particular theory. I think it is, and let me remember what they call themselves. This is who I seriously think that it's called. And it all made sense to me whenever I came across what the name was and what they represent. I cannot remember what the fuck they were called. If you know what, I'm going to describe it to you, explain their belief system, and you can hit me up in the comments. So, they are an offspring of Jews, basically. Like Khazarian Jews, Talmudic Jews. And what the fuck are they called? It's like on the tip of my tongue. I've talked about them before. So basically, it's like some weird branch, and they were started by this dude who was a Jew. And I think he might have been a Jesuit too. I'm not sure. I'll have to look back into it once I can remember his fucking name. But the whole concept of this cult that he started was basically they believe in Jesus, and they believe that Jesus will come back. So they are purposely as evil as possible to quicken when Jesus comes back. This is how fucking crazy this belief system is. And I talked about it yesterday, actually, last episode. I talked about all these Christians wishing for Jesus to come back. I'm like, first of all, you're actually playing into their plans. Second off, why do you want Jesus to come back so bad? You know that Jesus comes back pissed, right? And he's going to kill like a bunch of people with the sword coming out of his mouth. And why would you wish for the end of the world? And I know it says in the Bible, don't love the world. I ain't going to lie, I think that's retarded. I love the world. Look at this shit. I'm in a parking lot, and even this is beautiful. This is how beautiful Kentucky is. I'll show you. I'm literally sitting and looking at a forest, beautiful green, and I'm just in a parking lot. It is beautiful. The world is beautiful. And if you hate the world so much and you are so disgusted with how evil the world is, no offense, I don't want to be around you. And if that's what Christianity is about, I dislike it. There's one of my favorite songs is Joey Ramone. It's on his album, Don't Worry About Me. He covered What a Wonderful World. I see trees are green, clouds are white, dark summer days and bright stormy nights. And I know I butchered the lyrics, but it's a beautiful fucking song. Every time I put it on, I just start bawling like a baby because it's so fucking beautiful. And he's literally singing how beautiful the world is. He says, he walks down the street and people smile and wave at each other, and that means I love you. And he's talking about he walks past a baby carriage, and there's a baby smiling in the carriage, and it just brings a tear to his eyes, and he's like, that's fucking beautiful. And I'm sorry, I'm going through a shit ton. If you guys actually knew what I am going through right now, you'd be like, holy shit, I knew you were crazy, but how are you not batshit insane right now? So if you guys think this world is disgusting, and you can't wait for Jesus to come back as I am Iron Man and destroy it, that's on you, man. That's a weird fucking mentality. And unhealthy, in my opinion. But, yeah, so I think they're called, Jacobites or something. I don't know. It's right on the tip of my tongue what these motherfuckers are called. It's to me, the elite's religion. So, he says that Jesus prophesied all these miracles coming. I've already covered this with the red heifer. So, go check out that episode. I talk about the red heifer and the Euphrates drying up. I think the episode is literally called The Euphrates Drying Up. Go check that episode out. Euphrates drying up was a prophecy that was foretold in Revelations. First of all, Revelation, there was multiple authors who wrote the end of the world apocalypse for the Christian Bible. It's kind of like a competition. John won. His was the coolest. So that's why it got put in the King James. There was like 3 or 4 other authors who wrote what the end of the world was supposed to be. I'd love to read those books too. You guys know the Bible's all Vatican controlled. Come on now. But the elites force these prophecies, like the Euphrates River drying up. Do you know why it dried up? And you'll never hear a Christian fucking talk about this, or a Christian channel. They built a dam that stopped the water flow to it. That's why it dried up. It's not miraculous. It's not God doing a prophecy. It is the elites forcing a prophecy. The red heifer. Here's another one. This sacred Jewish red heifer. Do you know that they were purposely genetically modifying cows and breeding them for years, decades almost, to get this specific red heifer? Meaning they're forcing prophecy. That's not how prophecy works. Prophecy works as me going, in 2 minutes, let's see if this works. God said not to do this, but I'm not a Christian. So in 2 minutes, a vehicle will pull up next to me. A customer will pull up next to me for Steak and Shake. In 2 minutes. So it's 1650 now is my time that I'm running on. So it'll be 1850. If this actually happens, it'll freak me the fuck out. And you can see there's no car there now. So 1850. But they're forcing prophecy. So no offense, like, and like another one too is they're building the third temple. Yeah, they've been talking about that since I was a kid, and they're actually finally doing it. That's not a prophecy fulfilled, because all it takes is a construction crew to go out there when the elites tell them to do it, and they just build it. That's not miraculous. And trust me, I get woo-woo and cover miracles on this channel, you know. To me, that's the elites forcing, you know, prophecy. And once you understand that these elites are purposely being as evil as possible to force Jesus coming back, because they believe this religion that they believe is like basically them. They think that there's going to be like a place in heaven for them, that they played their part, you know, being as evil as possible. I wish I knew what the name was, because I've covered it before. I've talked about it before. Also, another thing. This is part 2 of me commenting on this dude. His comment. He's like, it'd be so cool for you to be in heaven with us. I have discussed this in a previous podcast. I believe the actual podcast is called I Don't Want to Go to Heaven. And I literally talk about, I don't want to go to heaven. Heaven to me sounds like hell. I don't want to go to hell either. First of all, I did not choose to be born. And if I did, it was some archon that tricked me into the light, you know, and swiped my memory, because I am a believer mostly in like Gnosticism. I didn't choose to be born. I didn't choose for my parents to have sex and, you know, like the Hindus believe. I don't remember jumping into my avatar and choosing this reality, because if I could have chose realities, I definitely would have chose something a lot better than living in a trailer, dealing with my legal issues right now. Yeah, all this pain and heartache of reality, you know. I don't want to go to heaven. I don't want to hang out with my grandma and my mom for eternity because they're Christians. I'm never going to convert to your religion. I used to be Christian. I was raised in that bullshit. And once you wake up, you can't force yourself to go back to sleep. So I would literally be forcing myself to go back to sleep and making myself purposely ignorant and retarded to become a Christian again. Because once you wake up and realize that Christianity is a psyop and a control mechanism, and that all of it is based off of older mystery schools and religions, that it's literally all these desert people called the Jews basically stole all the Christian bullshit from Egyptians and Hindus, and just saying, yeah, you guys' religion is a counterfeit. And I'm not going to go back to sleep and dumb myself down and retard myself to follow that shit. And another thing too, like, I don't want to go to heaven because, as far as I know, the way I was raised in Protestantism and multiple different sects of Christianity, like Pentecostal, Baptist, Southern Baptist, non-denominational, evangelist. As long as you confess to your sins, all of them, and you accept Jesus into your heart, you get to go to heaven. And there's a lot of, like, shitty people who did that, like Jeffrey Dahmer and Son of Sam, you know. And they just get to go to heaven because they accepted Jesus and confessed their sins and truly believed it in their heart of hearts. And it's like, doesn't it sound like some old dude in a robe just kind of made half of this shit up? Because I know that I'm a good person, but because I don't accept Jesus into my heart, because I don't do that, and I've denounced him. And by the way, here's another thing. I've already blasphemed the Holy Spirit, denounced Jesus. So I'm already damned anyways, you know? So, like, I'm unsavable. Yeah, so, like, I don't want to hang out with, you know, Jeffrey Dahmer and Son of Sam. Well, actually, you got me there. You got me there, Timothy Lutter, critical Bible thinker. You got me. That actually would be cool as fuck to hang out with Jeffrey Dahmer and Son of Sam, because then, as a podcaster, that would be amazing conversations. And I'm sure in heaven, it is heaven, there's awesome podcast equipment. I'd probably have my own studio. Oh, that's right. They give you guys mansions and streets of gold. And yeah, I don't know. I might want to go to heaven and then, like, maybe spit in God's face so that way he can get me out of there when I get tired of the world being too perfect. By the way, who wants too perfect of a world? Like, I'm a big gamer on this channel, obviously. You guys see my video game reviews. If nothing bad can happen in heaven, wouldn't that make, like, everything super boring? Like, the whole point of life that makes life interesting and entertaining is, like, life feels like an RPG video game. It's the struggles in life, as long as they're not too crazy of struggles, like I'm going through now. It's the small struggles in life that keep it interesting and entertaining. And if life is perfect, sorry, Street Fighter, that would be horrible. I cannot imagine playing a video game and every single time, like, I have invincibility, infinity amount of lives, infinity amount of retries, and the game is set, the difficulty level is set to very easy, and, like, I just beat the game in 2 seconds. Like, that sounds horrible. And the concept of eternal consciousness sounds horrible. What I would truly want is no heaven and no hell, which there isn't much evidence to anyways. all of this afterlife bullshit. They've already proven the brain lives for like 6 to 8 minutes after death. And that is when your body is releasing DMT, so you're tripping fucking balls. And it is very funny how many of these stupid Christian authors write 25 minutes in heaven, 25 minutes in hell. I got to spend 20 minutes in each domain, and I wrote a book and made millions of dollars on it. You guys don't think that's a little bit fucking fishy? But my perfect afterlife would be to cease to exist. To me, actual hell would be heaven and eternal consciousness. I don't want to be conscious forever. I have MDD, horrible depression. And to me, some of the most beautiful, amazing times is when I go to sleep and don't have to think, don't have to feel, don't have to stress, don't have to worry. That is the most peaceful times of my life. So if I could just have eternity of darkness and blackness, that sounds orgasmic. Literally orgasmic. And by the way, another thing too, reading Revelations, that sounds fucking horrible. I think literally it says that you will bow down to Jesus and God and like worship him for eternity, like as like one big song and never stop singing. And like, that sounds like a hellish fucking LSD trip. John was on something when he wrote that shit. Just saying. But yeah, I didn't think this would turn out into a whole fucking episode. And I don't mind. I just enjoy putting out content. So here's my thing though. If you want to remain Christian and ignorant and stupid, that's fine. Like Glenn Danzig, the lead singer of the Misfits, Samhain and Danzig used to say, religion should be whatever makes you a better person and gets you through the day. That's all that matters. Wise words from a Satanist, you know. And he's not a Satanist, by the way. He's literally said, I'm not a fucking Satanist. I just like comic books and horror movies. Like, but you guys know Christians aren't the brightest bulb in the batch, you know. Another thing too, man, honestly, dude, when you start looking into the Septuagint and Amon Hillman's work, Jesus is not who you think he is, dude. I'm just going to be straight up and sum it up. I'm going to do a whole episode on the Septuagint and Amon Hillman, which I actually did talk about Amon Hillman when I first came across his work. He translated and talks about the Septuagint, like that's his spiel, you know. Jesus was a child trafficking pedophile. And he brings a shit ton of evidence to prove this. And my thing is, if you're a Christian and that makes you a better person and it you know, gives you comfort, keep doing it. But after learning this shit, like, I can't follow that dude, and I don't want to associate myself with that dude. If Jesus is a child trafficking pedophile and this guy brings a shit ton of evidence to the table with the Septuagint to prove it, sorry. I mean, if you guys want to worship a pedophile and that's your best friend and shit, like, that's cool, you know. Shows a lot about your character. If it's down to that shit, I choose Lucifer, man. You guys already know how I feel about Lucifer. I don't think he's as bad as people say, you know. Somebody brought up a really good point one time. Like, they said, like, they brought up statistics and they said 1.5 million people were killed by this entity and 3 people were killed by this entity. Which one's God and which one's Lucifer? And everyone was like, oh, the 1.5 is Lucifer. You know, Jehovah only killed like 3 people, maybe tops. And they're like, nope. Lucifer only technically killed like 3 people in the Bible. God killed like 1.5 million. I'm like, yeah, keep worshiping that entity. Yahweh, Jehovah. Like, he's a fucking piece of shit. He's an interdimensional parasite, and I can't wait till something comes along and cuts its head off You know, it's Saturn, dude. Keep worshiping your fucking interdimensional parasite. I'm going to worship the true God, creator of all, Hugh, you know. I love y'all. Y'all have a good day.